Hello students, I welcome you all to the official YouTube channel of SRN International School. I am Bhupen Kriplani, Faculty of Economics at SRN International School. Today we are going to discuss the topic Rural Credit of Class 12th from Indian Economic Development NCERT. So let's begin with today's topic. What is rural credit? Providing the finance facility to the rural peoples is called as rural credit. Let's see the sources of rural credit. We have institutional sources and we have non-institutional sources. Institutional sources are the commercial institutions which are engaged in lending the activities to rural population. These commercial institutions are commercial bank, development bank, cooperative banks, etc. Non-institutional sources, it includes the private individuals like money lenders, traders, relatives, friends, etc. Rural credit. Why there is more importance given to rural credit? Basically, the rural credit has some problems. What are their problems are? The non-institutional sources exploit the rural population by charging high rate of interest. Institutional sources though charge a reasonable rate of interest, but they are less in numbers and not easily accessible to the rural population. Let's see the evolution of institutional sources of rural credit in India. Initially, the rural cooperative institutions were assigned the role of making credit availability to the rural sector in the beginning of 20th century. In 1955, State Bank of India was started and was entrusted the special task of providing rural credit facilities besides from its normal banking activities. In 1969, 14 leading banks were nationalized so that there can be an increase in the percentage of rural credit in the rural areas. Setting up of regional rural development banks in 1975 for providing banking facilities in rural areas to help the development of agriculture, trade, commerce, and industries in these areas. But its operation was limited to the district level. In 1982, NABARD, National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development, was set up as an apex bank for rural finance, and its objective was to coordinate and help all the institutions specializing in rural finance. After that, in 1998 and 99, Kisan Vikas credit cards were issued to all the rural people by all the nationalized banks. In 2014, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana was launched with an aim to have at least one bank account by at least one member of each household in the country, that is by 26 January 2015. This brought rural population one step closer to the credit facilities from bank. Let's see here the types of loan. We have a short-term loan, we have a medium-term loan, and we have long-term loans. Now let's see one by one. Short-term loans are the loans which are provided for 15 months so that a farmer can buy seeds, fertilizers, etc. and sometimes for meeting their household expenditure also. Medium-term loans. Medium-term loans are for the period from 15 months to 5 years so that a farmer can buy a cattle, agriculture implements, and for minor improvement in the land or into the farm area. Let's see long-term loans. Long-term loans which is provided to the rural population for more than 5 years so that they can use that money for buying land, they can use that money for agricultural machinery, they can pay off their old debts to make the permanent improvement in the land was the reason for the long-term loans. Now here comes how the short-term and medium-term loans was provided to the rural areas. Who has a crucial role in providing or fulfilling the short-term and medium-term loans requirement? So let's see the institutions meeting short-term and the medium-term loan facilities or requirement of the rural population. First one is state cooperative banks. Second is district central cooperative bank. Then we have a primary agriculture credit societies. So we have three major institutions which helps in providing short-term and medium-term loans. Let's see them in detail. The role of primary agriculture credit society. It is started with 10 or more people belonging to a village. Management of the society is under a selected elected body. Only an accountant is an employee from the government side. Profit of primary agriculture credit society used for the welfare activities of the villages like construction of well, funding a school, etc. At present there are nearly 1 lakh primary agriculture credit society with a membership of more than 10 crores farmers, which is about 45% of the rural families. Primary agriculture credit society are extending credit facilities to the weaker section of society, including scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. Then we have the long-term credit. Who provides the long-term credit? The institutions which are meeting the long-term credit requirement are State Cooperative Agriculture and Rural Development Bank. There is one such bank in each state. They obtain their funds through share capital, reserves, deposits, bonds, debentures, and finally from NABARD. Second institution is the Primary Cooperative Agriculture Rural Development Bank, which gives loan for the past repayment of past debt, improvement on land, purchase of machinery. The problem of these institutions are, the problem is overdues. Still, the farmer take the loans or the rural people take the loans and they don't repay it. There's a lack of supervision. Loans are being utilized properly or not. There's a lack of follow-up to ensure that loans are repaid or not. There is a lack of accurate technical and supervisory staff. Now we can here with a point that let's see the assessment of cooperative credit in India from 1950 to this date. Let's see, about 17% of the total institutional credit flow in rural areas. 2009-10, rural leading lending were more than 63,000 crores. By 2010, Cooperative Bank has issued more than 956 Kisan credit cards. Cooperative supply in all about 10% of total rural credit. Still, there was a problem of overdues, lack of professionalism in running the societies. Cooperative do not give loan to unprotected purposes like marriages, etc. Lot of illiteracy in the rural population create difficulty in obtaining loan as it has more of paperwork. I hope you have understood today's topic, that is rural credit, its types, its sources. If you have any query, please drop it in the comment section. Please like, share and subscribe the video. Thank you. Stay safe, stay happy.